Donk Nation, Jackson, Janet's greetings, and welcome to your daily dose of donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, bringing you some Steelers talk. I guess that's what we'll still call it here, Laskers. No Gingy this week. The realness of what the Pittsburgh Steelers are setting in a little bit too much for the mutant of the Gingy. But Laskers, welcome back. Didn't get to talk to you since the end of the Steelers season, but Laskers, kind of predictable, huh?
Oh, it was 100% predictable, and I don't like that we're that predictable. We can't win a freaking playoff game. I mean, I'm sick of it. I really am.
Don't worry, Laskers.
Tomlin needs to go.
Major changes are coming. We're keeping the same front office. We're keeping the same head coach. We're keeping the same offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and from all accounts, we also may be keeping Russell Wilson. So major changes are afoot, Laskers. No need to worry. Things are gonna stay the same.
So here's the big thing. Yeah, I'm okay with keeping Fields. I'm not okay with keeping Russell Wilson.
I don't think you could keep either. I don't think you could keep either of those two guys and say you're legitimately trying to be a modern day football team. Now you bring Fields back at like $8 million to be a backup quarterback. No harm at all, in my opinion. Okay, he showed enough that he's a solid enough backup. But based off the way he played this year in Pittsburgh, based off his career in Chicago, I don't think you can give that guy the front runner to being your starting quarterback and feel comfortable.
I don't disagree with that, and I'm not even really okay with $8 million, $4 million. I think is where it really should be. But you know what I'm seeing for Russ, $30 million, three years. No,
30 between 20 and 30 million a year for 3 years. Yeah, that's what it's sounding like.
Yeah, I'm not good with that. I'm not good with that at all.
And we have maybe showing the antiquated ways of the Steelers. Ben Johnson just gets hired by Chicago, who wanted to talk about trading for Tomlin. We don't do it. Ben Johnson in his introductory press conference goes, "We're in a modern day football where quarterback play is the most important thing." And he even pointed out, and it's true, analytically, the last 5 years, quarterback play is a bigger indicator of win or loss than turnover ratio. It just feels like the Steelers are afraid to adapt to modern football. Saying rinse and repeat, just Gingy said it this way. He finally came around and he said it this way, Laskers, and I don't think there's a better way to phrase it. The Pittsburgh Steelers are just risk adverse, man. Whether it comes to coaching, whether it comes to front office moves, anything like that, the Steelers are just risk adverse.
I'm just gonna go with the standard is a standard. We can't adapt. Period. We can't.
No,
I don't. Is a standard.
It is. I agree with you. Laskers, me and Gingy already went into depth about it. I don't feel like having this conversation. I point out the things I thought. Just give a breakdown here to everybody so they, kind of have an idea what you were thinking watching the Steelers in the playoffs this year.
Abominable. I
like
can't
a
even
snowman. I mean, I know you guys got more snow than I do, so it's raining up here. So
abominable. Yeah, it's not good. I'm not happy with how we played in the playoffs at all. I really have nothing to say. I have nothing good to say, and disappointment, but I also knew that we weren't going to win that game. Period.
Yeah, I don't feel like kicking the proverbial dead horse any more than it needs to be kicked. We've already been there, done that. Do you happen to watch any of the playoffs games this weekend? Specifically, whatever the hell the refs were doing in that Chiefs Texans game.
So I was actually flying during that game, but you're welcome, Chiefs, from the refs.
Yeah, anyone else think Patty Mahomes flopping on the sideline was a little bit more than ridiculous?
I think the whole game was ridiculous.
That's fair. I mean, Houston, in my opinion, they can't blame the refs fully because they just didn't show up to play, right? I mean, 12 points isn't going to get it done.
It was cold.
12 points isn't going to get it done. I understand there's zero doubt that the rest were favoring Patty Mahomes. I mean, even Troy Aikman about lost his damn mind during the game. And, a quarterback absolutely hating it. He goes, this isn't even football now. And I was like, yeah, you're damn right, Troy. You're damn right. Didn't think I'd be agreeing with a cowgirl, but, that's where we are in the modern day
one
NFL.
thing I will say is Troy Aikman actually is a pretty good announcer. He's pretty unbiased.
Half the time I listen to Aikman, I feel like he's one of them punch-drunk boxers, man, who took one too many hits to the head. Because the time he's talking, you're just like, what the hell is going on? Are you okay, dude? Do we need to call a ambulance for you? Oh, shoot, Laskers. Yeah, I don't know. That game was crazy the way it was. Watching Jaden Daniels now give himself a chance to be the first rookie quarterback to make a Super Bowl. I mean, that kid's playing impressive there for Washington. You look at these ages of the future. Now, remember, last offseason, that's why I wanted to bring that up, Cliff Kingsbury was a name that a lot of Steelers fans thought was going to interview for the job, and we never even gave Cliff a call.
Oh,
and look what he's doing in Washington.
We already knew who we were interviewing, period.
Yeah, it was going to be Arthur Smith, run-first coordinator, of course.
Yep.
That's the way it had to be, because, we're the Steelers. We need to hire...
The standard is the standard.
We're going to fire Matt Canada
we keep texting ourselves that, but, the standard is the standard.
We're going to fire Matt Canada to hire the only coach who runs the ball more often in the last 3 years. We're going to go ahead and we're going to fire Matt Canada and bring in Arthur Smith, who runs the ball more often. It sounds like Arthur Smith isn't going to get the Jets job, which really makes me sad because I think that's the only way we're going to get rid of him. But maybe that's a good thing because rumors are Russ and Arthur Smith weren't seeing eye to eye. Maybe keeping Arthur Smith Laskers avoids us keeping Russ. Maybe.
I'm hoping because I really don't see it in Russ.
Any Steelers stuff you want to talk about here, Laskers? Anything at all?
Not really. I mean,
any NFL stuff?
It's gonna all depend on the off season.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll get into breaking down numbers more often next week. I want to make sure Gingy's here. Hopefully Laskers is here so we can get into some of these fun numbers.
I should be there.
Break them down a little better because there's some scary numbers there. This offense was almost exactly the way it was last year, this year, so no change whatsoever. Any football stories that caught your eyes before we start talking about the few teams that are remaining?
Not really, but the one thing I will say is I 100% hate that you can interview coaches before, or potential coaches
while games
before.
Are going on.
Yes, exactly. I hate that. I 100% hate that. I hate how there's already coaches that are going to be there for next year.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense the way hiring's done in the NFL. I will fully agree with you there. That is definitely something that's silly. But Laskers, there's one story that really caught my mind, and I'm not talking about the terrible officiating, which happened in Buffalo and in Kansas City, which, by the way, in the Buffalo game, it was both teams that the shitty officiating affected, whereas in the Kansas City game, it was only against the, it was only against the Chiefs, or for the Chiefs.
For the Chiefs, yeah.
But how about Joe Mixon getting fined by the NFL for something TJ Houshmandzadeh tweeted? And then the NFL not admitting they're wrong. They don't even resign the fine. They decide, oh, wait, we're going to fine you for what you actually did say now. Like, seriously? Come on, guys. I know Joe Mixon's that guy, kind of brash, rubs people the wrong way, but come on, let's be a little better than that, eh?
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's silly and ridiculous. How about the NFL sending out a memo telling the officials not to throw a flag on a penalty because we let Buffalo get away with their offensive linemen grabbing the shoulder pads of running backs and quarterbacks and pulling them forward all year? Make sure you don't call that in the championship game because heaven forbid we enforce the rules we have, right?
Yeah, that's dumb too.
When you look at this stuff, you see how bad officials affect a game, and you look at the spring league, the USFL, I believe it's called, and how transparent they are, and how you can review penalties. You look at college football now, and how they're more transparent, and you can review a bad penalty. Why the hell is the NFL stuck in the Stone Age, Laskers? It really makes it feel like they're trying to, pull something over your eyes by the fact that they're not being transparent with officiating.
I got nothing for you because they don't want you to challenge it, and it's the same thing with the MLB. I mean, we're both baseball fans, and
Hey,
you can't challenge it.
Robo balls and strikes are coming, so I'm cool.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
3 years. 3 years, Robo balls and strikes. Okay, they put it in the minors. That's what they did with the pitch clock. Which, by the way, anyone who bitches about the pitch clock deserves slapped in the face. Because, dude, I actually enjoyed watching baseball again for like the first time in 5 years because it didn't feel like I was gonna fall asleep in between pitches.
We got the Gingy picks, just so you know.
All right. Well, we got off on a baseball tangent. Of course, Laskers is here. He's very good at distracting. Let's get back to football. We have, dude, the only team that wasn't chalk this whole playoffs, the Washington Commanders. Think about that, Laskers. The only team that wasn't chalk the whole playoffs, the Washington Commanders.
Good. They
taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Laskers, I'm going to tell you right now, my secret to this whole playoffs is the team that has the better line play, I think, is going to win. So I really feel good on the Commanders losing to the Philadelphia Eagles here this week. Laskers, who'd you like?
I'm going Commanders. There's something about
Jaden
that team.
Daniels is a stud.
There's something about that team I like. I don't know what it is, but they can't lose.
It sometimes feels that way. Laskers, we have you're pretty much your hometown at this point.
Let me throw Gingy's pick in. Gingy is picking Philly.
All right, me and Gingy on the same wavelength there. We have your essentially hometown team now, the Bills, going in to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Bills have a better running game. I think the Chiefs' running game's sus. I think the Bills win this game, Laskers.
I think this is going to be a very, very, very close game, but I also am going to take the Bills.
Yeah,
it actually kind of hurts me, but because the run game is very, very close.
Dude, Cook is a freaking monster, man.
Yeah, but Pacheco's a very good running back too.
He's at what, like 3.2 yards a carry this year?
Well, he's been hurt for half the year.
That offensive line in Kansas City's been dealing with injuries. I mean, Tooney or whatever had to move out from left guard to left tackle, and he's not a very good left tackle. So now they are weak at left tackle and left guard. It's just, man. And how about the refs this week actually call one of the 15 false starts on the right tackle, Jawan Taylor, who got away with 15 false starts against the Houston Texans last week. Not to mention 14 other illegal formations where he lined up too far in the backfield. How about we start calling those blatantly obvious penalties? Like when one dude's playing a half a second before everybody else, they should probably be flagged. Yeah, just a little bit. Let's try not to look biased here. Who did Gingy have, Laskers?
He has the Bills.
The Bills. All right. And that sets up, by the way, my pick set up perfectly for both starting quarterbacks getting hurt in the Super Bowl, and we got the Steelers Bowl, Trubisky versus Pickett, to see who wins the big title. Just putting it out there, Laskers. We'll will this into reality.
I got... Actually, I'm okay with that thing, but Josh Allen is a tough SOB. So I think
that's why he has got to get a concussion,
versus,
man. He's got to get a concussion.
I think Josh Allen has Daniels in the Super Bowl.
But there is a, I don't know, Laskers. We can keep this one short and sweet this week, I guess. I mean, no Steelers talk really going on. The football things are, I mean, it's kind of what everybody expected. We could beat this horse. Is there anything that you want to cover before we get anywhere else?
Oh, I can't think of anything I want to cover.
Do you have any shout outs for the end of the season for the Steelers here, Lasker, since you didn't get to give one last week?
Not really. I really can't think of anything. I mean, DJ had a great season, but Najee had a great season. I really got nothing that stands out for me.
I guess my shout out's going to be, I know it's a Pro Bowl and I know it doesn't matter, but Miles Killebrew getting added to the Pro Bowl roster. That dude's been awesome on special teams for us since we signed
Actually,
him. So.
I got one.
Oh, as well.
Nope. Hayward.
He had a hell of a year.
Yeah.
Pushed back Father Time for sure.
Yep. And, he's one of the few Steelers that's been able to do what he's done, in his career. So I'm going to give a shout out to Hayward.
I like it, Laskers. I like it. I have nothing else to say, so I guess it's time I'll let them all know. I'm the Viking Donkey. That's Viking_Donkey at Twitch or Twitter. Your daily dose on Good Gingers, the fun YouTube channel where you get all this content. Be sure to tune in. We'll break down Super Bowl stuff in 2 weeks. I guess next week we'll have Pro Bowl stuff. We'll look at some Steelers stats, some of what I think were the biggest decisive things and what caused the Steelers breakdown. We'll ask Laskers and Gingy what they thought was most important to the Steelers loss at the end of the year. And hopefully y'all enjoy everything we do. Donk Nation, Steeler Nation, I love y'all. We'll send it to Lasker so he can let you know what's going on.
I'm the Laskers everywhere, and I'm going to cover Gingy. He's the mutant Gingy everywhere. Wave him if you got him.